other than cheaters and liars.
Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Venus Viper here, and as you may have noticed, we've been seeing all of the requests for a voiceover, so we decided to do a voiceover for this video. We can't thank you all enough for your suggestions on how to make our channel better. Today we're going to be talking about Jaclyn's history of brand collaborations, and if you've been following Jaclyn for a while, you might know most of these. So we're going to be starting off with Sigma. The first brand that Jaclyn ever collaborated with on a product was Sigma Beauty in March of 2014. Jaclyn launched a 7-brush collection with Sigma Beauty, which, as we all know, sold out in a couple of days and then restocked a month later.
And that is my Sigma Beauty Expert box. I am super excited about this. I have been working on it with Sigma for a few months now. It is limited edition. It is only here for the month of March, and it did sell out in the first 2.5 days of being released. So because of that, I just wanted to address the situation because so many of you on Twitter have been thinking that it's gone forever and you didn't get to have a chance to buy it. That is not the case. You can sign up for an email to be notified the second it comes back out and it is released again. They are coming out with a bunch more kits for you guys so that all of you can go ahead and purchase who did not get your chance to.
It's rumored that Jaclyn was upset when Sigma refused to restock the kit for a third time because it meant that she was not going to be making as much money on the collab as she had hoped. Jaclyn's history with Sigma goes back to 2012 when she linked Sigma in the description box of a video in September of 2012. The link was removed from the description box until December 30th of 2012 when it reappeared in the description box permanently. The link in the description box is an affiliate code, and this can be seen due to the unique URL she's using. The link also is the same format as the link Zaddy Doll on Twitter, and the type of link had a 10% commission. SigmaBeautyInfluencers.com also states that influencers receive a unique link that directs traffic to the Sigma website, and they earn 10% commission every time a new customer uses their link. And while we're talking about affiliate links, we wanted to bring up these very clear guidelines from the FTC regarding affiliate links. We also want to be clear that the guidelines that do not allow a "some links are affiliate links" disclaimer, which Jaclyn has in all of her videos, because it is not clear to the consumer which links are or are not affiliate links. It's also not compliant if the disclaimer is at the very bottom of the description box. So that means even if in her most recent videos, Jaclyn is still not compliant with the FTC. Now we know that the most recent video didn't have affiliate links, but this is just showing that her standard disclaimer is at the bottom of the description box, and that's not following the guidelines. By 2015, Jaclyn had stopped talking about Sigma entirely, but her commission link remained in the description box of her videos until June of this year. So, Jaclyn's next collaboration was with Whitening Lightning, now known as Gerard Cosmetics, when she came out with the Color Your Smile lighted lip gloss Rose Hill in May of 2014. Gerard Cosmetics had only recently appeared in her description box in mid-February of 2014, and she launched the lip gloss with them only 2.5 months later. This lip gloss was one of her 4 collabs with Gerard Cosmetics in 2014. After launching Rose Hill, she went on to launch Buttercream Gloss a few months later, 1995 Lipstick in August of 2014, and Buttercup Lipstick in November of 2014. She repeatedly stated that she was picky with the formula and the shade of the products.
So I am going to be going in with a lip gloss that I just finished creating and developing myself. I did the entire process. I was so picky about the formulation. I was so picky about the color.
But we have confirmed that Jaclyn had nothing to do with the formula and only picked the shades based on a lineup provided by the CEO and owner of the company, Jen Gerard. Jaclyn accidentally confirmed this herself on Twitter, but we will get into that in a little bit. By August 1st of 2015, Jaclyn had removed Gerard Cosmetics from her description box, and she was no longer working with the company. She made this public announcement on Snapchat regarding her relationship with Gerard Cosmetics.
I have had hundreds, maybe thousands of people ask me in the last couple of weeks why I am not talking about Manny's collaboration with Gerard Cosmetics, his lip paint Serenity. And the reason why is because I have been in the process for the past couple of months of cutting off all ties and my affiliation with Gerard Cosmetics, which was not easy to do. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can guess like the reason behind this, and I don't want to go too in depth, and it's not something that I really wish to talk about too much because I don't want to shed any negativity on the situation. But it's honestly just a lot of different things combined, and I'll go more in depth about it in a video for sure in the next month when I really feel like ready and comfortable and things have finally settled at a good place. But until then, I just want you guys to know that Manny has been aware of this since before Serenity ever launched, and this has nothing to do with our friendship. Like, this is just business, and he completely understands. And if you currently go to the Gerard Cosmetics website, you will see that my face and my name is no longer on there whatsoever because I chose to take off anything having to do with me, because I just felt like this was really necessary for me. It's something that like I really thought about and like kept me awake at night, and I really had to pray about because this was a financial burden. But I just felt like my morals were way more important. So at this point, even though I did collaborate on the 4 colors I have with Gerard Cosmetics, they still are available for sale, but they are no longer my shades. I don't have anything to do with them anymore. We are actually still in the middle of settling this right now, so it's kind of like a to be continued story, but I'm just kind of updating you guys on it because I don't know, I just feel like I update you on everything. At the end of the day, I just feel like I'm always saying, like, I'm still the same person, and I put, like, my morals above any money, and money doesn't matter to me. It's, like, loyalty that matters. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like I have really been tested recently, and it's, like, God's way of saying, like, okay, prove it. Like, put your money where your mouth is. And so I've chosen to do this, and that's that.
Jaclyn makes it sound like her split was regarding the issue between Karina Kaboom, Manny, and Jen, but his sources confirmed that Jaclyn moved on to make more money with other companies, especially Morphe. Makeup Geek and Jaclyn's collaboration has been a hot topic recently after a series of events earlier this year, including leaked emails between a Makeup Geek employee and Jaclyn, and Marlena's truth video, which is speculated to be about Jaclyn. She began talking about Makeup Geek on her channel in May of 2013. In the series of leaked emails, Jaclyn and a Makeup Geek employee began discussing a collab in April of 2015. Marlena and Jaclyn were known as close friends at the time and confirmed that they were working on a collaboration in July of 2015.
Are you going to be collaborating with Makeup Geek Cosmetics in the near future? Yes, I am, girl. Yes, I am. I'm very excited. I'm doing a favorites palette with them, but I'm also creating my own custom shadows with Makeup Geek.
Around that same time, Jaclyn and Makeup Geek discussed the price of the palettes in her emails. At the time, Makeup Geek was selling their 9-pan bundles at a price of $50 with relative success. Marlena agreed to sell the Jaclyn palette at a price of $45, but Jaclyn still wanted to get the price down to $39. As we all know now, Manny's 9-pan Makeup Geek palette sold at a price point of $45 in the spring of 2016. In Jaclyn's Let's Talk video, she said that she didn't believe in the price of Makeup Geek shadows and that she thought both of her and Makeup Geek would look stupid releasing a 9-pan palette for more than the cost of a 35-pan palette with Morphe. This is interesting because Jaclyn had been raving about the affordability of Makeup Geek shadows for 2 years at this point. She repeatedly claimed that she had purchased the shadows herself and that Makeup Geek was not paying her. If this was true, how did she not know the price of her standard 9-pan bundles? Surely someone who loved a brand and buys their products with their own money would know this price point of the products they were buying and promoting. She requested refills of products from Makeup Geek in this email from summer of 2015, which shows that Jaclyn was in fact receiving free products from Makeup Geek. And if the price truly was the issue, why did Jaclyn wait until February 2016 to officially break off the collaboration? In Marlena's truth video, she states that Makeup Geek is struggling because they can't afford to pay $60,000 for a YouTube video.
We don't have $60,000 to pay someone to do one video, and that's the rates that we've been given.
When Marlena made this statement, Jaclyn was not mentioned by name. In her Let's Talk video, Jaclyn states that although $60,000 is a normal amount for influencers to charge, she has never charged that much.
In this video, she drops a big number and she says how, she was getting charged $60,000 for a sponsored video, like sponsored content. And I think she said like $20,000 or $40,000 for an Instagram post. Well, the second that happened, my social media was flooded with people being like, I cannot believe that you charged $60,000.
She also says that she has never taken $1 outside of her earned commission. Apparently, Jaclyn doesn't consider accepting free product and gifts as a form of financial compensation, but the FTC sure does, and they require it to be disclosed. In this Makeup Geek email, it also is confirmed that in her description box link is in fact a commission link, and that she earns 12% from this link. This means that Makeup Geek was paying Jaclyn in some capacity, even though Jaclyn repeatedly states that she is no way being paid for her reviews.
This video is not sponsored. Marlena did not ask me to make this video, and I am not being paid to make this video. I just want to get that out of the way so that everyone knows that I am in no way talking good about these shadows for any other reason other than I want to, which has been the way it's been since day one and will continue to roll that way on my channel. Moving on.
Which is not true, because she's earning commission based on her sales of the products, and she wouldn't sell very many if she gave them a bad review. Even though Marlena has never explicitly confirmed that she was talking about Jaclyn when she mentioned that $60,000 figure, Jaclyn has claimed that Marlena's statement is not about her. We believe we have found sufficient evidence to suggest that Marlena was in fact talking about Jaclyn. In December of 2017, roughly 8 months before Marlena's Truth video came out, someone commented on a Dior ad from Facebook that featured Jaclyn. The comment reads, "She was trying to bill Makeup Geek for like $60,000 just to add one of their products to a monthly favorites." This comment was not only mentioned Makeup Geek by name, but gave that exact same $60,000 figure and referenced that value being the price for a YouTube favorites video. Since this comment was made months before Marlena's video where these figures were initially mentioned, this person must have had insider knowledge regarding Jaclyn's relationship with Makeup Geek. In the emails, Makeup Geek offers Jaclyn $3 per $28 bundle on top of her 12% commission link. The smaller, less expensive bundle was brought up to try to expedite the launch date and satisfy Jaclyn's request for a lower price point. If we apply this value to the 50,000 units mentioned in the email, we get a total of between $150,000 and $318,000 as what Jaclyn stood to earn from this collaboration. The difference is due to her commission earnings. The lowest amount of $150,000 represents if no purchases were made through her link, and the $318,000 is the highest, which represents 100% of the purchases made through the link. Realistically, her earnings would have landed between the two figures. We can apply the same percentage to get a reasonable dollar amount that Jaclyn would earn from a $45 palette. Using the same commission, the same 50,000 units, and the same 12% link commission, Jaclyn stood to earn between roughly $240,000 and over $500,000 on the 9-pan palette at a price of $45. At a price of $39, her earnings would have been roughly between $208,000 and $443,000. If she wanted $60,000 for a single favorites video on YouTube, this may not have been enough money to make the collab worth her while, which is possibly why she put off signing the contract in case a more profitable deal came along. At this point, Jaclyn already knew the money that she could make from Morphe since she had already done a favorites palette with them, and it's been reported that she made significantly more than the maximum she stood to earn from a $45 palette with Makeup Geek with her Morphe favorites palette. In October of 2016, Makeup Geek was officially removed from Jaclyn's description box, and she stopped speaking about the brand entirely. Going back to 2014, Jaclyn was also supposedly in talks to collaborate with ABH. Allegedly, Anastasia cautioned Jaclyn against working with Marlena in Makeup Geek. When ABH found out about Jaclyn's collab with Morphe, her ABH collab was canceled. We believe it's also worth noting that Jaclyn was trying to collab with Morphe and ABH around the same time, which makes her claims about not believing in the price of Makeup Geek very questionable. If an expensive Makeup Geek palette would have made her look stupid, how would another expensive palette be much different? Norvina and Anastasia also gave Jaclyn a designer bag, which was not part of her earned commission. Now moving on to Jaclyn's most famous collaboration with Becca, the initial release of Champagne Pop.
I'm going to be using Champagne Pop. This is the highlight that I created with Becca Cosmetics.
The highlight launched in July of 2015 and was announced as a limited edition product.
But this is a limited edition product, even though it is in the same packaging as always.
Now, in October of 2015, Becca had announced that Champagne Pop would be brought back in their holiday trio, and many people felt that they had been tricked into buying Champagne Pop because they were told that it was limited edition. If they had known it wasn't a limited edition product, they could have waited for the trio and got a better deal, because I believe the trio was $34 and included a blush topper and their pearl highlight, and Champagne Pop single was $38. In May of 2016, Becca and Jaclyn launched a round 2 of Champagne Pop with the Champagne Glow collection. The eyeshadow palette that was released began to receive negative feedback regarding product inconsistencies. Becca decided to pull the eyeshadow palette, and Jaclyn took to Snapchat to let her followers know her version of what was happening.
Straight to the point, because I want to address something that I am so stressed about, and I'm so happy to be here and finally talk to you guys about this. I have been seeing all the comments, not all of them of course, but I've been seeing comments and the negative reviews about the Champagne Collection eyeshadow palette, and I want to talk about that. First off, I just want to say that I completely agree with you guys. The reason I have not been responding is because me and Becca have been in communication trying to figure out what to do about this. The eyeshadow palette is getting a ton of negative reviews saying that it's dry, it's patchy, it's not Becca's original beautiful formula that everyone loves so much, and I completely agree with you guys. So I'm going to start from the beginning and give you a little story to bring you up to speed so that you know exactly what happened, so that you don't have any questions or you're not confused in any way. So when Becca and I, had the conversation of the summer of 2016 Champagne collection, I immediately was all about the face palette. That was my baby, my heart and soul. I've been so hands-on with that palette. I take so much pride in that palette. Now keep in mind that I don't get to touch formulas because it's half Jaclyn, half Becca, but I get to do shades. Becca came to me and said, we want to do an eyeshadow palette. And I said, no, we can't. I have so much going on. I'm working so hard on this collaboration as it is with the face palette. I have so much going on in my personal life. And they were like, no. What we want to do is we want to create an eyeshadow palette, Becca formulas, Becca colors, and we just want you to create one shade that represents Champagne Pop. I was like, okay, yes, love it, die. Sounds like such a great plan, and that's what I've told you guys already, is how it's Becca's palette, Becca's formulations, but I got to create Champagne Toast. I was assured that it was going to be the same formula as all of their other palettes. You guys know I love their Ombre Rouge palette. If you look at the reviews, their palettes have amazing reviews. Everyone loves them. So I was totally down, of course. Great shadow palette, you guys create it. I'll create the actual shade of Champagne Toast. Let's do it. So that's how that palette went down. Because there was a time crunch and they had to launch this palette with the whole collection, everything we were working on had to come out at the same time, right? So they sent this palette to a different lab. They were told that this lab could produce the same exact, beautiful, creamy, high pigmented shades and shadows that they were always used to, so they trusted that. I was not aware of the situation because I was not as hands-on with this palette. I was just responsible for the shade of Champagne Toast, but I was just told that it was going to be Becca formulas, and that's that. That doesn't matter. Becca's an amazing brand. They know what they're doing. They've used several labs in the past, and they were told this one was going to be amazing. They trusted it, and now here we are. Oh, the point that I'm getting at is some people have been loving this palette. I've seen a lot of great reviews. I've seen a lot of people tag me in beautiful photos of their eye makeup saying that they love this palette so much. There's also a ton of bad feedback, and I don't even want to say it's negativity or hate, because it's just people saying, calling out the obvious. These aren't Becca shadows. They're dry, they're patchy, they're different. What's going on? And I'm just here to let you know exactly what's going on. Becca is a great company with great intentions. They did not try to do anybody dirty. They didn't try to hurt me or hurt you. But this is now where we are at, and I now have my name on an eyeshadow palette that I do not believe in. And I have promised you guys many, many, many times that I would never put my name on something that I don't believe in. I was told it was going to be just the regular formulas. It wasn't. So because of that, we are going to be eliminating the Champagne Collection eyeshadow palette altogether. Now, Becca did not have to do this because of the fact that this technically isn't my palette, it's theirs. Because, like I've said a million times, this technically is not my palette, it's Becca's palette, and I was just responsible for one color out of the 5.
so they really didn't have to respect my wishes. But they see my frustration. They see my subscribers' frustration. And I promised you guys that I would never put my name on something that isn't amazing, and this palette is not what I thought it was going to be. So therefore, it is no longer going to be available on June 16th when it goes into stores. The eyeshadow palette will not be available. The face palette will be, and Champagne Pop Liquid. Becca feels absolutely terrible and just heartbroken by this entire situation because they thought that these were going to be absolutely amazing, and the deadline hit so quick. All of a sudden, it was just like, oh, boom, the eyeshadow palette is launched. Oh, boom, why are they different? Oh, boom, look at all this negativity. And it was just like, it's just been a bad situation. But Becca and Sephora are doing their absolute best to try to make this into a good situation. They have promised that anyone who is dissatisfied with this palette can get a full refund, no problem. They told me that they are planning ways of making this up to you guys because they feel so sorry, because your trust in their eyeshadow and their product means the world to them, obviously. And as far as me and my relationship with my subscribers go, I hope you know, and I hope this proves to you that you are always my number one. Not money, not makeup, you. I'm sure I could have made money off of this palette, you know, good money, I'm sure, but I could care less. I would pay someone to take this palette away. This, we hear you guys. I'm so thankful for you guys stepping up and being so honest. You guys are always honest with me, and I'm honest with you, and you have no idea how thankful I am for that. And honestly, I am just so, I continue to be impressed by Becca as a company and the fact that they are eliminating this palette. They could have just said, like, Jaclyn, screw you, we're keeping this, you're only responsible for one shade, we're gonna make money. But instead, they listen to me, and they listen to you guys. You guys are the ones that they really listen to. Like I say it all the time, like, I'm nobody without you guys. Like, it's amazing. There's honestly, you guys, not that many brands out there, and just not many people in business in general that would do the right thing. And the fact that Becca sees this and is trying to fix it is amazing. And I just hope that you guys know that my loyalty is always to you. I'm not trying to knock anybody. Becca knows I love them, and I'm so grateful and honored by this collaboration. But at the same time, they also know my loyalty is to you. You're my number one, and you truly only deserve the best. That's why this palette will no longer be available. If you aren't happy with it, please go get a refund, girl. Please. Becca is learning their lessons just like I am, just like we all are. Every day of our lives, there's always a lesson to be learned, and they will never do this again. This will never happen for us or them again.
Jaclyn took no responsibility for what happened and threw Becca under the bus. Becca and Jaclyn once again told their followers that a product, the Champagne Glow Face Palette, was limited edition, but brought it back again for the holidays. Around the same time the eyeshadow palette was pulled, Jaclyn made this comment on Twitter stating that she had nothing to do with ingredients and that influencers are never involved with ingredients when they collab. This is that confirmation that from Jaclyn herself that we mentioned earlier in regards to having never been involved with the formula or for her collab with Gerard Cosmetics, or any brand for that matter. Since we talked about Jaclyn not believing in the price of Makeup Geek, let's talk about the price point of the Champagne Glow collection. The eyeshadow palette in this collection was a 5-pan palette that retailed at $40. If Jaclyn was so concerned about the price point of the Makeup Geek products making her look stupid, why did she release a shadow palette with Becca? This eyeshadow palette launched over a year after her Morphe Favorites palette, so at this point she had already released a very inexpensive collab and went right back to releasing a luxury item. How does releasing a $38 single highlight 6 months after releasing a $28 28 shade Favorites palette with Morphe not make her look stupid, but releasing a $45 9-pan Makeup Geek palette would? Maybe Jaclyn felt that the Becca palette price point was valid since it was a more well-known luxury brand made in well-regulated places like the US, Germany, and Italy. But wait, the Jaclyn Hill and Becca eyeshadow palette was not made in any of those places. It was made in China. In fact, it was the first and only collection that Becca has ever manufactured in China. So wouldn't that mean a price point of $40 for a 5-pan palette that's also made in China, just like Morphe, would have made Jaclyn look more stupid than a $45 9-pan palette with Makeup Geek that is at least actually made in the United States? And why would Becca manufacture in China anyway? Customers were told that production was done using a different lab to have faster turnaround time to make the launch. But this doesn't really make sense when you consider how long shipping and customs may take. And as Kevin James Bennett points out, There are plenty of manufacturers in the United States that could have contacted to handle the overload, and they had the same demand for the face palette, but managed to make that product in the United States. Could it have been that Jaclyn wasn't happy with the commission they could offer her for the eyeshadow palette, and it was the only way for them to increase the amount they could pay her? Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned. If you want to follow us all on Twitter, our @ are linked down below. We're a lot more active on there, and we tend to release more information as we find it that usually doesn't get put in the videos. So again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.